A Vision of Legal Shadows by James Williams. A case at chambers left for my opinion, I tax my brain until the noon of night. I read out law and loathe the long dominion of fiction over right. I had consulted Coke, Cruise, and Chitty, the works where ancient learning reigned supreme, until exhausted nature, moved with pity, sent me a bookman's dream. 6 figures, all gigantic as Gargantua, floated before my eyes, and all the 6 were shades like those that once the bard of Mantua saw by the shore of Styx. The first one with countenance imperious, his toga dim with centuries of dust. My name, quoth he, is Aulus and Agerius, my voice is hoarse with rust. Yet once I played my part in law proceeding, and writers wrote of one we never saw. I gave the point to formul and pleadings, I live but in the law. The second had a conscious perfidious. What wonder, protest launched the formula, and ran against numerous negatives, and not a whit cared he. The voice of high contempt he greeted Aulus. In indistinct were waste mine enemy, once past now day that students did not call us as parties, me and we. On paper I was plaintiff or defendant, on paper woe waste evermore the same. We lived apart, a life it was transcendent, for it was but a name. I hate thee, Aulus, hate thee, low he muttered. It was by thee that I was always tricked, but unsuspended, bread I ate unbuttered, and dread of interdict. And yet 'twas but the sentiment I hated, like thee I never was drunk in thee or claim, with wine that was no wine my thirst was sated. Like thee I was ashamed. 2 country hinds and brooding smokes next followed, each trundled him a cartwheel by the spokes. Oblivion know their names, how well night swallowed, how they were styles and nokes. They spake no word, for speech to them was grievous. With both eyes they supplicated me. We wot not what we will, but briefs leave us, and let it folk we are. Go, said I, simple ones, and break your follows. Crush autumn apples in the cider press law. Give her styles the humble names still hollows, contracted to J.S. Another pair of later time succeeded, with buckles on their shoes and silken hose. A garb that told it was to them who heeded, John Doe and Richard Rose. Ah me, I was a casual ejector. In the brave days of old, I heard one say, I knew Elizabeth, the Lord Protector, I spake with yesterday. To whom in contractions nor of the other, there was no living blood or vein to fill. Both you and I were naught but shadows, brother, and we are shadows still. Room for a lady, room as a Megiddo. The host made way for passage of a king, for from the darkness crept forth a widow in wreaths and wedding ring. I were a widow, I were of the singers, of Scotland sang where cruel words so smote, my tender heart that oft-times itched my fingers to take them by the throat. He scoffed at me, though bachelor of Glasgow. If I existed not for him to knave, 'twas all his fault, who let some bony lass go, unwedded to a grave.